Well over a year ago, I turned Ironmouse into a Dungeons & Dragons monster. And then during Ironmouse's last subathon, she stumbled across my video and watched it on stream. It was a pretty surreal moment being woken up by tons of notifications suddenly happening on a year-old video. But after realizing what happened and why my phone was heating up to the temperature of the sun, I was filled with nothing but pure bliss and joy. I immediately logged on to Twitch and I went looking through the stream VOD to see if I could find the moment that my video was watched. And I found it. And now I'm going to share that experience with you all. So full disclosure, I have seen this already, but it has been several months since last I watched it. Now I'm not going to show you the entire video because it already exists on my channel and you can watch it here. I'm just going to be going through the highlights and talking about some key moments. Go.
Huh? Whoa, what?
So clearly you can see that she must have just stumbled across the video in her recommended or up next because she played a brief second of it before really diving in and going, hold on, what is this? Can I show this? And then deciding to show it anyways before even skimming through and checking it out. So now everybody just gets to watch and nobody knows what it is. Nobody knows what's happening. Satan, also known as Ironmouse, is a virtual YouTuber and streamer.
What was that? Hi, honey.
Satan.
When did I say hi, honey?
I don't know when you said it. It was part of one of your
Hi, honey.
videos I grabbed a clip from. I don't know when it was from though.
Aw.
From her charity events, paying off her family's home, the way she interacts with others, and her overwhelming love for her precious family, it is very
Man,
easy.
this was a year ago. Holy shit.
Mouse is a medium-sized creature with an armor class of 16. Okay, before we continue on this stat block, I want to address a very key point that I had a lot of people getting angry at me for. The fact that I made Mouse a medium-sized creature. In retrospect, sure. Could I have made her a small creature? Yes, I very well could have. Maybe it was a bit generous to make her a medium-sized creature when she's very much not, but oh well. If you want to make her a small creature, go for it. I made the mistake of making her a medium-sized creature. I'm sorry. Considering Mouse's character models have never looked physically menacing, unlike another V-Shoujo member, at 16. This also shows you how old this video is, because Andrea doesn't look like that anymore. She has a strength of 7, dexterity of 12, constitution of 9, intelligence of 15, wisdom 14, and charisma of 9. A lot of people questioned why her strength was only 7 and her con was only 9 when everything else seemed to be super buffed. And the reasons I did that were kind of twofold. One was because of in-universe lore. She is the embodiment of Satan, yes, but if she was absolutely stacked to the max on everything, it wouldn't seem realistic. And I'm firmly against Mary Sue's. I'm firmly against having positive and every nature without a single bit of a drawback. You have to have a balance. You have to have some negatives to go with the positives. If you are all negatives, then you're just a very sad, depressing character. But if you're all positives, there's nothing interesting about you. And second thing, I did incorporate a little bit of Mouse's real life when I was making this stat block, with her strength being 7 and her con being 9 because, of course, of her illness. That's also why in her skills, you'll see she has a medicine with +4. Because I figured she's been around medicine almost her entire life. She should be very well accustomed to it. I go back and forth whether it was a good idea to incorporate her real life into this character sheet and not just focus solely on the VTuber aspect of it. But for me, it felt more interesting to incorporate both sides of her instead of just focusing on one.
Wow.
Charisma is very much Mouse's strong side, so she's also got a +6 in that area for her saving throw.
I'm a nice, sweet, calm, normal, loving, daddy girl.
Her skills include intimidation of 8. She can also summon her familiar, Booby.
Welcome, welcome. You might know me by many names, though. Perhaps Booby, 12-inch king?
What does 12-inch king mean?
I think you're aware of what it means.
No, I'm not aware.
Really?
Oh, I am not aware.
Well, I'm 12 inches of height.
Oh, I see.
Also, fun fact about that clip, when I recorded that clip to add to that video, I recorded it, of course, in 2x speed. And then when I was incorporating it into the video, I realized, uh-oh, the whole video was going to play at normal speed for everybody else, but I recorded the clip at 2x speed. So instead of going back and re-recording the clip at normal speed, I just slowed the clip down to normal speed. And in doing so, it made the voices sound a little robotic and wonky. And I was like, oh God, people are going to point out that this sounds weird and my audio messed up. Nobody did, which is good, because it shows that there are a lot of things that you as a creator are going to notice about your content that your average viewer is not even ever going to notice, or even if they do, not going to care. Under her wing in any of her tempting ways. You can really tell that all the footage playing now is at 2x speed. Warm, encouraging, pleasant, and one fuck of a tough tungsten rat. If you'd like a copy of this stat block, to briefly share a quote from Mouse herself. Don't ever give up. Try to believe in yourself. Shit might be bad. It might be scary. It might be painful. But all that will be tools in your magical book bag to help you while you climb that fucking mountain. Fuck that mountain. Thank you, Mouse. I wish you all the best for your future.
Oh my god, I can't believe I'm seeing this a year later. I'm sorry I didn't see this earlier.
That's okay. You're busy. You got lots of shit going on.
You just making me cry.
Well, sorry. That wasn't the
That
intention.
was amazing. Thank you.
Also, this is awful. Before we continue with the rest of her comment, why is that a recommended video? That horrible monstrosity of a face just has to be in the recommended videos afterwards. After watching the Ironmouse D&D video, that's what YouTube decided to show. Unbelievable.
Thank you, WinglessValkyrie. Holy shit. I don't know what you're up to now or if you're still here, but thank you.
I'm very much still here.
Ah! I remember when I said that too. Fuck.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Oh yeah, fuck that mountain.
Fuck the mountain.
Making me cry. I'll never forgive you.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'll never forgive you. You're making me cry.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. That's so sweet of you. That's so kind. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
That was wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Holy shit.
You're most welcome again. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I didn't even expect you'd see it.
Is that with Twitter?
Ah, yes. This is an awful part. She went to see if I followed her on Twitter. I don't. Or at least I didn't. I do now. But I don't really use Twitter all that often. I have Twitter because it's kind of a necessity as a content creator to have, but I don't really follow anybody on it. I think I'm following less than 60 people on it. I really only use Twitter to keep up to date with certain things, mainly revolving around Dungeons and Dragons. And even beyond that, I usually just get the news from YouTube itself. So as great as I was feeling while watching this video, and then suddenly realizing that she went to check if I was following her on Twitter and she found out I wasn't, I panicked. And then very, very promptly followed her on Twitter afterwards.
I'm gonna follow them.
This made me freak out.
They don't follow me, but I'm gonna follow them. Don't tell them. Don't tell them.
They didn't have to tell me. I watched the the VOD and found out, oh no, oh god. But it's okay. I follow her and she still follows me. I don't know if she remembers me and if any of my stuff ever pops up on her timeline, if she even knows who the fuck I am. But it's cool nonetheless. But overall, all jokes and memes and funniness aside, to have someone that I look up to as big and important and life-changing as Ironmouse, to see something that I made without ever realizing she would ever see it, it was an absolutely mind-boggling experience. So when Ironmouse saw that video, I was completely starstruck. And the fact that she enjoyed it as much as she did really, really warmed my heart. So to Mouse, if you're watching this, thank you so much for not just watching the video, but for everything you've done online since becoming a VTuber. You're an inspiration to not just aspiring VTubers, because as you can tell, I'm not one of them, but you are a huge inspiration to me, and no doubt thousands of others. So thank you again for everything you've done, and I wish you all the best for your future. Skull. Fuck that mountain!